basically, you
playoff
think
team.
Kyrie's not going to be there after that?
Not at all. Same thing
I
like
agree,
him.
though.
A lot of these people are on these 1 year deals, really trying to make that push. And while this does seem like a great push on paper, getting Kyrie and Luka together, honestly, it seemed like that's everything the Mavs need. When you honestly look at the rest of the team, how it was gutted, what they gave up, and just what they're left with now, it wasn't worth it.
Yeah, I think that
It wasn't the right move.
it wasn't the right move for me. I think that they needed a big
They did.
man. They needed somebody
Maybe
that could
they needed a forward,
a
like a
forward
power
or a
forward
big.
or
I'll be
three.
honest, like
Like I
even a
don't think
guy
a
like.
straight five, because there ain't that many fives anymore.
But
Like where are you gonna
I'm
trade
saying
for
like
a
a guy
size
that can
five?
rebound. They need rebounding. A guy like Andre Drummond, like that's somebody that they need. A
That
guy
man's
like
done.
that, just a rebounder. Honestly, that's what they need. That's what they need. Like they were missing that. Obviously, they had Bojan Bogdanovic last year, right? Or Boban. I'm sorry, they had Boban last year. So they had that rebounding going with that 7-5 player, but they needed some rebounding this year, and they're not getting it from Christian Wood at all or Maxi Kleber.
No,
So.
and they never been one of those people. So that's what I'm saying. Get another. Well, now granted, while Kyrie can play off ball, getting another ball dominant guard was not the move.
I mean,
Like
they had
yes,
that
it
last
looks like
year
one
and we
of the.
saw it didn't work. Like
No, that's what I'm
they
saying. Like
had Brunson.
it's a
So
great
they
duel to watch, but like at the end of the day, it's not gonna win you games. It's not gonna translate into success. And at this point, um, 'cause like you said, Kyrie looked like he's playing better. It's not him that's a problem. You're right. The problem's always been Mark Cuban. Not specifically Mark Cuban, but his faith in Luca's style and just somehow all in on believing that's going to win him a championship has not even come close to giving him the fruits of his labor that he wants.
mm.
Like a hundred
And
percent, he still
I
wants Luca to be
disagree.
that number one.
I disagree that it's Mark Cuban's fault. I think that it's Luca's fault. I think that we talked about this a little bit before the trade deadline. We said that would Luca need to change his game, or actually, right when the trade deadline happened, we talked a little bit about it. You know, would Luca need to change his game if another guy came onto his team? And we were saying
Why
that yeah,
would
he
he?
would. And would he? I don't think he has. I
But
don't
why
think.
would he? Since
I
he's
think he.
came into the league, Mark Cuban has done nothing but trade for superstar and give away superstar because they don't work for Luca. Mark has done everything to make sure that offense runs half court through Luca. His ball, he does anything. He got the ultra green light. He doesn't believe he has to change.
He
Like I'll
doesn't.
be honest, I
He
love
doesn't. But
Luca
I think
as
he
a
needs to
skill set
change.
as a player, but like I just like I am just the last game I watched him play, and the man literally, oh, it was against the Warriors. The man literally got mad at a ref for not calling a foul on Draymond. That wasn't a foul. The man is turned
Oh
into a
no, that was a
diva.
foul.
It was not a
I
foul. Right
saw
under the
that.
basket,
That
hands
was a
up.
foul.
That was
That
not
was
a
a foul.
foul. That
No,
was not
and
a foul.
that was the game. Also, let's talk about that game because that was one of the most controversial games that we've ever seen.
Oh,
The
that
Dallas Mavericks versus the
the
Golden State
ref.
Warriors
That
game.
was a ref.
That's
The
gonna
ref
go down
fucked
in
up.
history.
The ref fucked up.
I don't know if you also saw. Yeah, you saw that at the end of the game where the ref definitely fucked up, gave the ball to the wrong team. Dallas
Mm-hmm.
should have won that game.
Yeah.
They were only down by 2. They should have won that game. They gave Golden State the ball, and my man Curry, before he left the court, he gave the ref a little bit of a little hand gesture there. He's gonna get a little fine for that. Nah, not that one. Not that one.
Oh, the
A little finger. He gave him a little. He gave him the finger. He gave the ref the finger before he left the court. So he's gonna get fined for that a little bit before the playoffs start.
got you. Got you. No, I did not
Yeah,
see
yeah, yeah.
that.
Oh yeah, yeah. They showed
No,
it.
I
They were
did
showing it
not see that.
all over like yeah, Twitter. So he's gonna get fined. He's gonna get fined on that. But it's we are gonna have to see if that actually plays a part of it because I don't know if refs like to
They don't like him no
take a
more.
grudge. Yeah, they don't like when
But
superstars talk.
'cause at this point, he hasn't done nothing in the league. Like, we understand, like, he is who he is. He's Luka Doncic. But he hasn't done anything to warrant superstar attention. And I'll be honest, I 100% disagree that was that was a great call. It was not a foul.
No.
Draymond
Oh
had
no,
his
sorry.
hand
The foul.
straight
No, no,
up.
my bad, my bad. The
No,
foul. I thought you
that's
meant sorry. The other call that happened.
no. What's the
The
no,
out
no,
of
no, no,
bounds.
no.
I thought
That
you
was
meant the out of
horrible. The
bounds
ref,
after the timeout.
the ref, no, the ref really fucked up. The
Yeah,
ref definitely should have did that. I'm talking about when Luca was on their side. He
yeah,
basically
yeah,
went for a layup, got the rebound, tried to pump fake basically right under the basket, and Draymond didn't jump. He kept his hand straight up. He threw the ball up. Obviously, he missed it, rolled off. Someone else got the rebound. He literally didn't even try to get the rebound, turn around and play. The first thing he did was turn around and look for the ref. And it's like, bro, like he does not think like. And now, granted, it's fun when he talks shit to the Suns. Yeah, the Suns are trash. Not trash, but it just it's good. Exactly, they chirp. But at the end of the day, like Luka is a very cocky motherfucker, and
I'll be honest. Why shouldn't he be? My man has played with NBA style players since he was 14 years old.
And literally. That's what I'm saying. And that's what he is thinking. He but that's why. That's why he shouldn't be. Because now think about it. You don't think think about it. You don't think Giannis
I'm sorry. I disagree with you here. No. Because real quick. I disagree with you here because Luka is the only man to have records broken since LeBron. He's broken records that LeBron has held. Like he literally has like records of 5,000 points, 5,000 rebounds, 5,000 assists, like 10,000 points. Like he's gotten those type of records just like LeBron. Everyone talks about him. Oh, come on. Everyone talks about him being like the same style of player as LeBron, and you're telling me that
and when he
shouldn't
gets
6
rings, then he can act just as cocky as LeBron.
But LeBron didn't get his first ring till his 8th year.
Yeah.
He didn't get his first year, his 8th year, so he's still got time. I think he has a reason to act cocky. My man is the best white player we have ever seen since Larry Bird. I mean, other than Nikola Jokic.
He got to be European.
Yeah, but white European player like since Larry Bird or Jokic. I'm just saying, like
definitely is, but that don't mean nothing if all you're giving us all we seen from you is a conference finals, and that's what I'm saying. You think he has a right to be that cocky, and him thinking that is why he's never gonna get to a finals.
I don't know. I don't agree because last year
he can get to a finals, but not with the way he play and the attitude he has. He will not get to a finals like that. Him and the Mavericks will never get past that hump if Luka keep thinking he can do what he does.
See, I don't know. I mean, they made it to the Western Conference Finals because of
against a couple injured teams.
I mean, the first round for sure, but the second round we can debate on that because I think that the way that he played against the
second
Suns
was incredible. I would say second round
he literally took over. He took over the Suns. Like the Suns had who they needed. They had Chris Paul, they had Booker, they had Ayton. So I think that he took over that round. I think he can win series by himself. So he has a reason to be cocky. Like there's a guy like Trae Young. You look at Trae Young, who's the same, career path as Luka. Like they literally got traded for each other in the same draft class, and they're both shooters. They're both point guards. So I'm kind of looking at them as the same like trajectory.
Then so you're saying Trae Young should be just as cocky because he got a playoff win.
But he does have playoff win, but he hasn't gotten as far as my man Luka has.
Luka's
got
round.
The Western Conference Finals is something that's.
But no, it's not. It's not.
LeBron didn't get in the Western Conference Finals to the 7th year.
But that's what I'm saying. To me and to a lot of people, getting to a Western Conference Finals is nothing.
Still?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's something.
There's two teams that make it to there's literally 24 people that make it to the Western Conference Final every year. The other 12 you don't even talk about every year because they lost it and didn't make it to the finals. Getting to the Western Conference Final is not an accomplishment. Yes,
no. Western Conference Finals is the last 2 teams, not 24. Like there's 2 teams.
24 players.
Oh, 24 player. I got you. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like there's a lot of people who could say they make it to the Western Conference Final. 24 make it every year.
I mean, but only 2 teams make it.
That's what I'm saying. Out of the players of the team, so you're telling me that next year let's say the Thunder make it to the conference finals off the back of
Chet Holmgren, then you're gonna look at him as a great player in his first year ever playing.
That doesn't mean he get the right to be cocky.
No, but do you know?
Start demanding calls and thinks that he gets all the calls, the green lights, the half court has to run through him. His team can start making
that's debatable. That's debatable. Yeah, that's
it's not him just walking around with the cockiness. It's everything else. We've watched the Mavericks team literally fail to get any traction because there should have been no reason Kristaps Porzingis should have never worked.
I agree with you 100% there. That's where I want to go with this because I think that Kristaps Porzingis trade was the worst thing to happen to the Dallas Mavericks. I think that was the one thing that actually helped Luka. I think they need a big man and a little man. They need a Luka with a big man that pick and roll. I know he didn't like him, and I don't think that they got along. And plus, obviously, all the injuries with Kristaps. But you see Kristaps balling now right now with the Wizards getting 24 points and
career
11 rebounds. I think that was the worst thing that the Dallas could have done because I do agree that I don't think that Kyrie and Luka are the best fit together, but like I think that Luka's career as a whole, you got to say that it has been a success
Of
so
course.
far.
He's gonna
So
go
far,
down
yeah.
as a first ballot Hall of Famer. That's no question about it. But he
Already, and
hasn't
it's
done
his like fifth
anything.
year. It's his
But
fifth
to
year.
me, that still doesn't warrant the attitude or the treatment he think he deserves.
See, I can understand that, but he knows the superstars in this league get superstar calls, so he has to act that way to get those calls. So I can
Bro,
understand that
he's
you
not
don't think
even
it
in year
warrants it.
4, and he has the reputation of being a whiner for everything. He's not gonna get those calls now. Now reps and the whole world sees him as that person.
And I've seen him do that. Like I have seen him do that in the past in his career for sure. And but then again, I think he's copied LeBron a little bit from that.
Not even, because I'll be honest, the whole LeBron's
Oh,
acquired,
come
like,
on now.
no, because that whole thing, like,
LeBron
I've seen
always
that
whines
man
about
set.
calls.
No, the way, and now obviously take away the whole Jason Tatum Boston Celtics one, because he threw a temper tantrum, um, because he legit threw a temper tantrum. But the way I've seen Luka for years, like 2 years consistently cry about calls, I've never seen no other NBA player, including LeBron, do that. Like LeBron used to sit there, like, I don't think you remember, like, I don't think we were used to someone like LeBron coming to the league, because the way that man used to get hit, and that's the I used
No,
to
I'll
love
give
it
it to
as a
him. Yeah,
Celtics
yeah,
fan. I used to always be like, yeah,
right.
like, bro,
Bro,
elbow his ass, like,
the
get
first
in
four
front of him, like,
years,
yeah, I used to love that.
yeah, the
But
first
he
four
used to
years
get
in LeBron's career, I would say he was getting brutalized out there before they
brutalized.
made those rules like against those hand like they made like obviously like rules against like hitting you up in the top of the hands and stuff, so you can't hit the top of the hand anymore. And like LeBron was literally every time he was inside, he was getting hit in the hands. They weren't calling any calls for him the first 4 years in his career, just like Shaq was honestly like early
Same
in
thing.
his career,
Honestly,
same
just
thing.
like Curry. Curry gets fouled so much on his foul shot. Like, that's the thing. So in reality, it's crazy to sound like, at the end of the day, like, LeBron changed the way fouls were called for people that strong and that big. Think now Giannis don't get those calls. Granted, I think Giannis is the other end. I think he should be getting the goddamn calls the way he be running through people.
That's true.
But that's
It's hard to call him because he goes from the 3 point
no,
line
bro.
to the dunk.
In my
He
head,
dunks
I'd be like, what do you
in
want
like
the
one
defender
second.
to
Yeah.
do?
Yeah, like he literally takes 2 steps from a 3 point line and then
And throws
dunks.
you out the way. No, literally. And
Yeah,
then
and
if a defender steps in his way, they're like, "Oh, you're fouled." Like, bro, he was literally right there
right.
before I took the step. Like, what? Like, that to me is the opposite, because I don't even understand what you're supposed to do when you guard Giannis, because that really is ridiculous. But LeBron made things so where, like, same thing. Zion doesn't get calls the way he wants to get calls because he's so big and strong. He just overpower people. That came from LeBron.
The problem with
Curry,
Zion, he needs to learn how to play like LeBron used to play in
yes,
the
and
post.
he
He
don't
doesn't play
use his
like that. He
body
likes
like
to
that.
play like forward, like looking at you, and likes to look at you dribble, try to do like a crossover and try to dunk. But what he needs to do is do more post ups, and he will get those calls with Zion. I really believe that. But then again, with Luka, I'm just gonna say this. I'll be honest. Like I think he has had the greatest 5 year career that almost any other player can have,
No, he
including
hasn't.
Michael Jordan and LeBron James.
No, he
The
hasn't.
first 5 years in his career, other than, I mean, if you look at guys like Magic Johnson in their first years in the career, I'm talking about the top guys. I'm not talking about just for a few years you do good. I'm talking about if you have a 20-year career and your first 5 years are like Luca's career, then you would be like you just said. Remember in earlier episode, you already called him a first ballot Hall of Famer.
He
He's in
is,
his fifth year,
but
bro.
he doesn't
He
even,
doesn't even have a championship.
bro. But he doesn't have nothing.
But you
That's what I'm
already called him a
saying.
first ballot Hall of Famer.
Because I
That's
know
how
his
good he
skill
is.
set.
Yeah, that's what I mean
No, no,
though.
no, no,
That's
no,
my
no, no, no,
point.
no,
That's
no,
my
no.
point.
First ballot Hall of Famer prediction. He can't retire right now
Right.
and
If he
be a
keeps it
first
up,
ballot.
if he
He
keeps it
didn't
up,
do
you're
anything
saying
right
okay,
now.
okay,
He
okay.
never he didn't come close to having the first or the most successful or the best 3 year career. You just mentioned Magic Johnson came in and did what in his first year? You must
MVP.
forget that there was a
Yeah.
man named Dwayne the Wade Flash who won
Third year in
third
his
year. That's what I'm
yeah.
saying. Like,
With
Luka
but
didn't
then
do
again, he did have
Luka didn't
Shaq. He
do
did have Shaq, one of
anything
the
yet.
greatest centers.
And both of those players, same thing with, even because obviously Magic going into where he went to Lakers, they definitely had a team that was already
And he had
established.
Kareem
And
Abdul-Jabbar
that's what I'm
right there
saying.
with him. Yeah.
Both of them went into situations, learned how to give, learned how to take. Same thing
Right.
when LeBron came to Miami. The way he said, "This is your team. I
Yeah.
know what I can give, not a cake." Luka will never get over that hump because he's
Yeah,
not
but
like
Luka
that.
never was in that situation. Like you, I mean, you had
Because they
Shaq
won't
came
let
over
him.
to Shaq
Because
came
they
over to
won't let him
Miami.
be. Because they already cater to Luca and gives him everything he wants. They will never let him be in that
Kind
situation
of.
because they already gave him the keys to the castle.
They tried that with Porzingis. I agree with you there, but I don't think right
They
now because
didn't. They
I
made
think right now
Porzingis change
what
up his style, stop posting up, start shooting threes, start doing pop and
but that's
pick,
my
pick and
point.
pop.
That's
They
exactly
made
my point.
Porzingis change up his whole style to once again fit Luca. Luca is going to have to change his style to fit somebody else, and he will never do that because he doesn't think he has to do that because Mark Cuban has made it clear that he doesn't think he has to
See,
do that.
no. I disagree there because I think that my I think that's my point right there is because Luca doesn't want to change. They tried to bring in Kyrie because they thought that he would change his style, bringing in Kyrie because they know that Kyrie's ball dominant. So they thought that maybe Kyrie's going to be the one that's going to be taking up this offense. But you see the games that both of them are playing, it's still Luca taking the ball up, and Kyrie's the one doing those. He's going and he takes those off ball screens and he goes around and he goes to the corner and stuff, goes back to the front of the court and takes the ball. I do think that the best thing that they gave Luca was obviously Porzingis, but I mean you had guys like Kobe that came into the league. He came in with Shaq, so he got those rings easily with Shaq. I mean, obviously Magic Johnson, he had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He got those rings with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Wade, he got those rings with Shaq when I mean Shaq might have not been exactly in his prime, but he was still like coming off of his prime.
Oh,
So he got those
Shaq
rings
was
with
still
Shaq.
doing big numbers.
Luca Luca has not played with a top 5 player. This is the first time he has. And maybe they don't mesh together, but if he plays with another top 5 player that's a big, I think that he could easily win. Let's say Luca and Jokic together.
Well, that's the
That's
problem. No one's gonna want to go there. And you might think I'm
mm,
crazy for saying that, but they didn't get
nah, that's a
Kyrie to
good point.
teach
Yeah.
Luca a lesson. There was no other market. Kyrie wanted out of the Nets, and they were the best team. Not only did the Mavs
Yeah, but
had to make a move, they
they
were the
didn't
best
want
team
to.
suited to give the Nets something that was worthwhile.
Yeah, but the
But
Nets did that on purpose. They didn't want to
they didn't
give.
want him going to the Lakers. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
they didn't
Like
want to trade him to Lakers. Yeah.
Mark Cuban getting Kyrie was just honestly just like the Lakers getting Russell Westbrook. We need a big point guard. We need a big player. This is who's available.
Yeah.
Yes, that might, like I said, when you take away the defense and just strictly on paper, like right away, damn, Kyrie and Luca, that's one of the best backcourts we're gonna ever see. Like
Hmm.
right away, that makes the team better. But at the end of the day, like yeah, Luca's gonna have to learn to play with Kyrie, but I don't think they are putting in Luca's head that like, now we got Kyrie, you might want to take a step back. I don't think no one in that organization is telling him that.
Mm. And
They're
you
just
know
gonna
what?
let
You
it's
might be
gonna
right there.
happen.
You
It's
might be
gonna
right
happen.
there. You
You know
might
what
be
I'm saying?
right.
Like Kyrie's have to take a step forward. Like even that one game, like one of the first games they played, they lost because no one knew who to take the game winning shot.
Yeah, yeah. But now I feel like Kyrie is kind of stepping up, and he's kind of passing it around. He's gonna be that guy that's gonna take over the team. I don't know. I'll be honest.
I
Like
mean, he's the
if
vet. He's the NBA champion. He should
exactly,
be.
and
He should
and
be
he's
able to
that
go into
late
that
game.
locker room and take
Yeah,
control.
he's
So
that
we'll
late
see.
game moment guy too. So he's able to he knows what it's like to be in the finals, those big moments, those big playoff moments. So I definitely agree with you that he should be the guy, and I think that Luca he can kind of calm down and kind of give it up to Kyrie, especially now with Luca kind of being out a few games, and you see Kyrie playing with Kleba, and Kleba just got those big points, and right now the Jalen Suggs has been balling out. He's been averaging 22 points in the last 3 games. Jalen Suggs, if he keeps that up, I'll be honest. Like I do think that this still could be if they make it to the Western Conference Finals. And I'm not saying that they will, but I'm just saying no. I'm just saying if they do, I could easily see Kyrie staying on this team next year.
Mm.
That's my prediction. Most likely he's going to go to the Lakers. That's what everyone is saying. That's what the NBA universe is kind of like, looking at. And Kyrie is from LA. He kind of wants to go back home. He wants to play for the Lakers. That was his favorite team when he was a kid. Maybe he'll play with LeBron one more year. But then again, I do think that if they play good towards the end or first round of the playoffs, something crazy could happen and they could stay together.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see much success from the team to begin with. I don't have much hope for success for that team moving forward. And at this point, I don't think that team is even moving in the right direction. It's so crazy that they have a once in a lifetime generational player, and as weird as it sounds, they might end up wasting his career there.
Damn. Well, that's crazy because I mean, there's a lot of guys that are not gonna win a championship that are just as good or similarly as good as yeah, or as Doncic. I mean, you got Jokic that's double MVP winner and hasn't won a championship yet. You got Damian Lillard who's gone to the playoffs multiple times with his, by himself pretty much taking care of his team. Still hasn't got to the finals yet, and he's gonna end up being probably like a top 7 scorer, top 5 scorer. Who knows? But I mean, there's a lot of guys that are like top guys that haven't gotten their teams to the finals, and we still look at them as like great players.
Oh no, he will be a great player, once in a lifetime generation, Hall of Famer. But it will be a shame
Yeah,
if he never wins a ring
yeah.
and stays in
I mean, it'll be
Dallas.
a shame, but it's not a
Because
wasted
I
career.
no, for me, if he stays in Dallas and never wins a ring, that's wasted his career. Because for me, I've already seen them not make good use of it.
Hmm.
So if he stays another 6 years, retires without doing anything but a couple more conference championships, then yeah, they wasted one of the best players we've ever seen his career. Because at the end of the day, there's a lot of generational players. Like I would have expected KD to find a way to win a ring. A lot of people didn't like him going to the Warriors, but at the end of the day, like
I mean,
he,
he did it the way that the
I
NBA
I expect
allowed
Luka
it.
to win a ring
Yeah, me too.
before with his skill. Like so, if he doesn't win a ring, I'm not, bro. He's not no Charles Barkley.
I was just gonna bring him up
We're
literally.
talking
But then
about a
again, what about a guy
generational
like
skill set.
what about a guy like Harden who's won an MVP before, or CP3? I mean, look at him. He's waiting for his ring. Is he not like a great? Is that a wasted career? I mean, like you got guys that are great, incredible Hall of Fame players that haven't won
You just
rings.
said it. This is supposed to be the next LeBron.
That you're right
That's what it
about.
is.
That
It's
you're
that
right. You got
extra
me there. You got me
expectation.
there. You got me there.
Like I'll be honest, I
Me
don't
there.
think anyone expected CP3 to win rings until that Lob City started coming out.
Yeah. LA
Like no
Clippers.
one
Yeah,
expected James Harden to win a ring until he started becoming
balling
competitive,
out as
winning
MVP and
MVPs.
yeah,
Doncic came into the league as another basically 17-year-old chosen one. Everyone
yeah.
expects him
Kind
to
of
win rings. So
kind
I'm
of a
not gonna
triple
put
double
that.
kind of guy. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna put that high expectation where I expect him to win rings. But I will say if he doesn't win one, then yeah, something went wrong in his career. Because at the end of the day,
Yeah,
we've seen
I'll
all he
I'll
needs
agree with you,
is one more piece.
and I'll
We've
agree with
seen
you
him
because
make the playoffs, take team. You know what I'm saying? Like all you gotta do is put a competent second next to him, and he actually wins something.
yeah. See, I'll agree with you. I totally agree with you then because I think that you're right. If he doesn't win a ring, it's probably it's not a wasted career,
A
but
mismanaged.
it's a
Yes.
disappointing career because you see a guy like or Antetokounmpo winning it there. He did have Middleton, who was a good second fiddle or you
Him,
know
he sacrificed play style, money, like he did whatever he had to do. That's what I'm saying. Like you got two European players that came out and came to America acting two different ways. Granted, one of them was already famous and known, but Luca came in like, listen, I do already what I want. I'm better than half of y'all. I don't know if he said that, but like at the end of the day, I probably would have came in thinking the same thing. Like, bro, I'm over here playing with grown men for the
yeah
last 4 years. I definitely would
yeah
have been thinking the same thing.
mhm.
But at the end of the day, like I see someone like Giannis and like yeah, they're all cocky in a certain way, but like you've seen Giannis make sacrifice and like bro, no one expected Giannis to win a ring that quick. And when I mean
True
that
true.
quick, the first couple of years he wasn't even good. But once he started becoming Giannis and it's like, oh damn, he got an MVP. Oh damn, he got two MVP. Like at that point, like, all
But
right,
then again,
cool.
we do got to look at style of play. I mean, you got Giannis, who's like tall, almost 7 foot, 7 foot two wingspan, like guy that can shoot from almost anywhere. Like he's getting better at the 3 point line, dunk from anywhere. And then you got Luka, that's a slow facilitator. Like yeah, he's a good facilitator, but he's a slow facilitator, and he's a
Bro,
good shooter.
no one tells this man to waste all his energy taking 30 step backs a game. He could change up a little bit.
Yeah,
Like,
but
bro, we've
it's not
seen
like he's
that,
gonna run like
but mind
Damian
you,
Lillard
listen,
down the court.
granted, LeBron has never been, or Luca will never be as athletic as
I was
LeBron,
just gonna say he's not gonna run
but
down the court.
we have seen three different LeBrons in his career.
Yeah.
Luca should have found a way, or should still at least find a way to make his game like that. When I say make his game work for the NBA, I don't mean like I'll be honest, at a certain way, Harden's game didn't work for the NBA because you get 60 points for what?
Well, you know what? I mean, he did have those years that he was getting 10 assists, and that's helping a lot now. So he learned not that he doesn't need to score as much, and he needed to be more of a facilitator and get those assists. And the way he got those MVP or the MVP was because of the assists, because he averaged 10 assists a game
No, I
that year.
mean that was a great team, and like just when they decided, oh, we're gonna use this small ball or around Harden so much, when the Houston decided to get rid of the centers, like what are y'all doing? Like, yeah, these are coaches, and obviously they know more about NBA than us. But I gotta really be questioning like
And
what
that's
these coaches and these teams be doing. Like now, it doesn't seem like you're really trying your hardest to help Luka Doncic win a ring,
That's funny that you brought them up in Harden because that is exactly the same type of team that I'm looking at in Dallas. That Houston team with
and that's not gonna
Harden
win.
being the facilitator, doing that triple double almost pretty much. Luca is doing that exact same thing
With
in
a bunch of
Dallas.
shooters around them, keeping the
Bunch
ball
of
in your hands the whole
shooters,
time.
and they don't have any bigs, just like Houston. And that's the
And
same thing is happening. Christian Wood was there. I mean, he wasn't starting there. He was a rookie when Harden was there, but still, he was there, and you know he was one of their biggest
oh,
guys, and now you got like him in Dallas, and he's one of the biggest guys. So, you know what? I mean, it's gonna be tough, a tough road for Luka to get a
it is.
championship. I'll say that. But if they get another guy like Porzingis, another big guy like tall, tall frame,
Bro,
big
imagine
man,
AD. Imagine AD doesn't win the championship and end up going to Dallas.
I want Zion and Luka together. I'll be honest. I'm greedy. I want Zion and Luka.
I don't know about Zion. Them boys' injuries is starting to
Nah,
be
I know.
worrisome. It really is
Nah,
starting to be
that's true.
worrisome. But that's what
That's
I'm saying.
true.
Like, at this point, that's
But
why
then
I
again,
said
AD though,
forward.
really?
But that's why I said forward. Because even then, you could probably he's getting old.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
getting
yeah.
injured. You don't have to pay him. You know, like when he leaves, you might be able to get a good deal. And at that point, as long as you got good pieces, it doesn't have to be just Luka and AD. But at
Mm.
this point, that's why I said a forward because there ain't no big man worth like. There's only three big men, and none of them are gonna go team up with Luka.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
And
a guy
getting
like
a
Nikola, he needs the
mediocre.
ball in his
That's
hands,
what
so
I'm
you can't
saying.
have
None of them
him
are
there.
gonna
A
go.
guy like Aiton would be decent actually. Like Aiton would be a good big man, but he's not leaving. And honestly, like anybody else, like Embiid, like I don't see him leaving. He's gonna stay in Philly. So those are only big men that are really
And
available. Like
anyone
big,
under
good.
them isn't good enough to be Luca's second. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. It
So
has to be a forward, like a four. It has to be a forward, someone who can ball handle, who can shoot, who can rebound about 6, 7, 8, and who can play defense. It
you know
has
what
to be
they
a
needed is a
forward.
guy like Tobias Harris or Al Horford. That's what they needed. With Kyrie. Like if they had that with the team they got right now, Kyrie and Al
Yeah.
Horford or Tobias Harris or somebody that can actually rebound and shoot the ball. He's a tall defender as well. Like that's a guy they would need.
Nah, Al
But
Horford, even at his age, makes any
yeah,
team
he's still
better
playing
when it
great for
comes to the
Boston.
rebounding, assisting, and the shooting. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'll say this though. Like I think that Luca. I'll predict that he's gonna win a championship in his career. I'm not sure, but I'm just predicting one championship at least. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, I'll give him one. I just don't see
Who
the next
knows?
three unless another big trade happening, and it can't be another guard.
Right.
But right now,
I
with the
agree with
team
you.
they got right now, and with the core they got right now, I don't see it happening. So I could say the next three, but like the reason why I say three because I don't see them drastically changing enough for the next two.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I agree with that. I think that they would only get like one or two big players, big name players, maybe one big name player, and then the other would be, obviously backup role guys.